let's get yapping. So, Bungie just announced Destiny 2, The Edge of Fate, or rather that they're going to do a reveal for The Edge of Fate on May 6th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. That is noon Eastern time. If you live in the States, that begins an hour before the current weekly reset. And I'm seeing a lot of people confused about like the naming of things, the timeline of things, and all that stuff. So I basically just wanted to explain every single thing that we're getting, when we're getting it, the dates and times, all that goodness. So I've made a pretty little paint illustration for all y'all. The current date is April 15th. This smiley face indicates the event that is currently going on. The bottom of this timeline is dates, and then the top is what happens on those dates. Right now it's a smiley face because we're just we're chilling in the live stream. Twitch.tv/Mactix. You stop by, but stop by the way. We're just we're all chilling. In fact, if everyone in the chat wants to say hi, I can pull the chat on screen for a brief moment so you guys can all say hi to Yaptix YouTube watchers. On May 6th. Oh, there we go. Everyone say hi. Say hello. Hi. Hi, YouTube. Hello. Hi. Are you the Yap guy? No, I'm Mactix. You're thinking of Yaptix. Whoa, 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 whoa! We can't show that. We can't show that on stream. We're gonna get demonetized. On May 6th, two things are going to happen, both related to the 9. The first of which is going to be the Destiny 2 Edge of Fate reveal event, as we discussed. Now, the Edge of Fate was previously known as Codename Apollo. So when we were seeing like a lot of this type of stuff out, and we are seeing Codename Frontiers, Codename Apollo, Codename Apollo equals the Edge of Fate. It's just not, Apollo was obviously the code name for it. Edge of Fate is Codename Apollo. Now, if you're still confused, you're like, okay, well then what is Frontiers? A quick reminder that previously, Bungie/Destiny did one expansion per year with a bunch of seasons underneath it. They are moving to 2 expansions per year. So basically, Codename Frontiers, again, Frontiers is still a code name, but we don't have like an official name for it yet. But as far as I can tell, Codename Frontiers encapsulates both expansions that we're going to be getting in the upcoming year, which was previously Codename Apollo, now known as the Edge of Fate, and Codename Behemoth, still currently known as Codename Behemoth. We don't know what the name of that expansion is going to be. And then underneath each of these expansions, we have 2 seasons right here, as we can see. Codename Arsenal and Codename Surge underneath the Edge of Fate, and 2 major updates that don't even have codenames yet for Behemoth. So basically what's going on right now is on May 6th, we're going to have the reveal for the Edge of Fate, which is presumably going to tell us, like, it's going to be, I'm assuming it's going to be like our typical reveal. Same thing as like Lightfall reveal, Final Shape reveal, all that type of stuff. It's going to let us know what to expect, general narrative, general theme, general updates to large systems, telling us what we can expect from this entire expansion, probably going to give us a release date, and probably going to open pre-orders for the expansion, which is also going to give us a cost. Now, and I could be wrong on this expansion, the Edge of Fate, will cost money, just like all other expansions. But what's changing is that the seasons, or I guess they're still called seasonal updates, right? The seasons that are going to be under the Edge of Fate are no longer going to cost any money whatsoever, as far as I can tell. There's going to be no season pass. There's not going to be any annual pass, or at least if there is, the seasons are not going to fall under that umbrella. This Codename Arsenal right here, which is going to be the first season of the Edge of Fate, and Codename Surge, which is going to be the second season of Edge of Fate, those are both going to be completely free. Now, whether or not the rewards pass associated with those seasons are going to be free is currently unknown. I would imagine there's probably going to be a free track to the rewards pass and a paid track to the rewards pass. But the actual content within the seasons is going to be available to all players according to this infographic, as far as I can tell. So that is a key major difference between what we're about to see with seasons going forward compared to seasons that we've always had, where the actual content of the seasons seems like it's going to be free, with if that makes sense. So on May 6th, we're going to get the announcement, as we said, to the Edge of Fate. And after we get that announcement, at reset time, is the release of the Rite of the Nine event, which is the contest mode, Pantheon-esque dungeon events. Like we had Pantheon last year, and it's not the same as Pantheon. It's not like a dungeon boss gauntlet, but it's like, I'll call it the R&D event, right? The raid and dungeon event. So instead of having a raid-centric event before the next expansion, we're going to have a dungeon-centric event. That is Rite of the Nine. So I know it's a little confusing because Rite of the Nine and the Edge of Fate are both 9 themed, but on 5/6, one of them is the actual event that will be playable on that day, which is the Rite of the Nine. And then the other is simply the reveal, the announcement of the expansion that will be available at a later date. That later date is going to be sometime this summer of 2025. As we can see right here on the roadmap, summer 2025 right here for Codename Apollo, which of course is the Edge of Fate. So we don't know the specific date yet, but like in my mind, summer months are like June, July, and like maybe early August, I guess. I don't know what you guys consider summer. That's kind of what I consider summer. Maybe they're going based off of like the scientific technical date range of summer, which is based on the solstices, which, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that it's, is it June 22nd to September 22nd or something like that, I think is like technically, scientifically summer. I feel like there's 2 different types of summers, right? There's like science summer, which is based on the solstices, which I think is June 22nd to September, it'd be 21st then, I think. And then there's like summer based on like vibes, you know what I mean? Which is June, July, and like early August. It's honestly kind of like end of May, June, July, early August is summer. So there's like science summer versus vibe summer. Anyway, we know Edge of Fate is, I'm 99% assuming, I'd be flabbergasted. Did I just say flabbergasted? I'm sticking with it, whatever. I'd be flabbergasted if the if the release date for the Edge of Fate was not announced on May 6th. So summer 2025, we're going to get the release of the Edge of Fate. And then I would imagine that somewhere in between this time period, we're going to get a reveal for Codename Behemoth. And we're going to get the actual name of Codename Behemoth. So similar to how it's not Codename Apollo anymore, it's the Edge of Fate. It's not going to be Codename Behemoth anymore. It'll be whatever they end up announcing it to be. Because if we come back to the roadmap, we see Behemoth is winter 2025. Which in my mind is November, December. October's not winter. October's Halloween. Halloween's in the fall. Halloween's its own season, baby. So, I would guess that we're going to have a Codename Behemoth reveal somewhere in here. And then Codename Behemoth is going to release in winter 2025. And along with Codename Behemoth is going to be 2 seasons, just like we're getting 2 seasons with Edge of Fate, Codename Apollo. We're going to be getting 2 seasons with Codename Behemoth. And they're going to be available to all players. Once again, there might be some paid elements to them. There's probably going to be a paid track of the rewards pass. We're probably going to have a dungeon key situation as well. But I'm assuming Apollo and Behemoth are going to cost money. All of the seasons underneath them are going to be free. There's going to be premium tracks on all the rewards passes associated with the seasons that are going to cost money. And there's also going to be dungeon keys that are going to cost money. That's my guess. So, it's kind of good. They confirmed no more dungeon keys. Oh, wow. I did not know that. So, I think what will probably happen then is... Here's what my guess is going to be. So at the current moment, right, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, I meant to zoom out, not zoom in. Oh, not what I wanted there. Also not what I wanted there. There we go, cool. So my guess is what currently happens is for a year of content, if you buy it all in one go, you pay $100, right? Like Witch Queen Deluxe, $100. Lightfall plus annual pass, $100. Final Shape plus annual pass, $100. And that gives you everything for the year. That gives you the expansion, all the seasons, all the premium tracks for all the seasons, and all the dungeons. So my guess is, if they're taking dungeon keys and saying goodbye to them, which is good, by the way. I think that's really good. Dungeon keys have been a point of contention for so long. I think it's good that they're getting rid of them. F that. Just complicated. Makes people feel gypped when they like buy the expansion and they don't get the dungeon with it. You know. So that's really good. My guess, though, is what they're going to do is, since there's 2 expansions per year now, and they're getting rid of dungeon keys, I think they're going to make each expansion, to facilitate 1, inflation, and 2, the fact that they're getting rid of dungeon keys, they're kind of merging dungeon keys with the purchase as well. Again, this is purely my guess. This is speculation. I would guess that they're going to make each expansion cost $60. Is what they're going to do. And then maybe they'll do something where you can, like, if you pre-order both expansions at the same time, it'll be $110. Or something along those lines. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that, though, because I don't know if they're going to offer a purchase option for Apollo / Edge of Fate and Behemoth at the same time, because they're not revealing Behemoth. Right? Unless I'm wrong about all of this, and Edge of Fate is not replacing Codename Apollo, it's replacing Frontiers. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh. I could be wrong on many, many things. There is a possibility, I suppose, that Edge of Fate is what Codename Frontiers is, and during the Edge of Fate reveal, they're going to give us the names of Codename Apollo and Codename Behemoth. Potentially. Nah, it would be Apollo. Frontiers doesn't technically mean anything. It's just the working title for the year. The Destiny 2 team Twitter said Edge of Fate is Apollo. Okay, never mind. I'm not wrong. One second. Let me see if I can pull that up. Destiny. Yeah, because I felt like I saw that. But... oh, yeah. Oh, stupid. I did see that. Codename Apollo, Edge of Fate. Right here. Let me blimp it up a little bit so you can see it more easily. Yeah, okay, cool. Yep, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so never mind. So, I guess there's a possibility that we just never get a name for Frontiers. It's just kind of like the working name for the entire year. Yeah, okay. So, with that, okay, so if this is just a Codename Apollo / Edge of Fate reveal, then I think it's probably unlikely that they offer us a pre-order purchase option that allows us to buy both Codename Apollo and Codename Behemoth ahead of time in a bundle, which makes me think that we're only going to be able to purchase the expansion separate from each other, and I think they're each going to be $60 to facilitate both inflation and the fact that they're getting rid of dungeon keys and presumably dungeons are being absorbed with the purchase of the expansion, which I think is good. I think that's a good thing. Yes, it means we do pay a little bit more money, but I will happily pay an extra $20 per year to get 2 expansions instead of 1, and for dungeon keys to completely go away. So I think that's good. Oh, Tip Me, thank you so much for the 14 months on a 14-month streak. Thank you so much. You can't win a marathon without putting some Band-Aids on your nips. Destiny is the Band-Aid. So we're putting Destiny on our nips? Wait a minute. Hold up, huh? Wait a second. Wait a darn second. TB, thank you so much for the tier 3 for 7 months, bro. Highest tier of sub you can be, TB. Thank you so much. I appreciate you a ton. Thank you, thank you. Destiny is my hobby. Even $120 a year for a hobby is crazy cheap. I mean, I literally spent... I've literally probably spent over $1,000 on Magic the Gathering in the past, like, week and a half. So yeah, $120 for a year? That's not bad. By the way, card opening stream this Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Speaking of Magic the Gathering. And Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't have any Pokemon to open, I'm sorry. Scalpers have it all, there's nothing I can do about it. I've got Tarkir and Lord of the Rings. Radiant Warrior, thanks so much for the 8 months. Appreciate you very much. Do we have anyone have any other questions about Rite of the Nine stuff? Any other questions? I think I explained it pretty well, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. This is really exciting too, because we're theoretically getting 2 raids per year now. Because it says for every expansion, we get new raids and dungeons. Which means, so that's plural, so we get a raid and a dungeon in Apollo and a raid and a dungeon in Behemoth? Maybe. That would be sweet. I guess we'll see, though. But yeah, I really wanted to make this primarily to explain the timeline, because I saw a lot of people confused of like, wait a minute. I thought we got Rite of the Nine on the 6th, not the Edge of Fate. Did they change it to the Edge of Fate? Because they're both 9 themed. It's like, no. Rite of the Nine releases on the 6th after we watch the reveal for the Edge of Fate, previously known as Codename Apollo, which is one half of Frontiers, which is going to release in summer. The other half of Frontiers is going to release in winter. It's 1 raid, 1 dungeon per year. Oh. Oh, that kind of sucks. So we're getting less dungeons then. Are you sure? 1 raid in Apollo, 1 dungeon in Behemoth? That sucks. That's a bummer. That's unfortunate. Less, but maybe higher quality. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm genuinely curious. Would you guys rather have 2 brand new raids and dungeons per year that were decent, or 1 brand new raid and dungeon per year that is godlike? My opinion is a little skewed as a content creator, I will say, because more raids and dungeons equals way more content that I'm able to make. So I kind of like naturally gravitate towards having more. But like at the same time, I don't know, like if we're getting like a Salvation's Edge quality raid, a Last Wish quality raid every single year, then like honestly, I'm fine to bite the bullet and only have 1, I suppose. As long as there's no Verity boss. Hey, Verity is fun. Come on. We love Verity. Verity's a banger. I'll be hating on Verity. Becklin Games, thanks for the pour amount, Tommy. I think they mentioned it was going to be one raid and dungeon, and then the update later on Apollo that would add on to those raids and dungeons. I vaguely do recall that. I vaguely do recall that. I feel like you're all inhaling the copium on Verity. Yo, Maritime. I feel like you may be just like... Maritime, do you know how to do Verity? Do you know how they... Do you know the mechanics of the encounter? Do you know how it works? Because... I'll tell you what, that encounter is sweet. It's just shapes. I love it. I love Verity. Thanks for the link, AJ. Let's see here. Every year we'll kick off with a brand new raid as part of the first expansion. The following major update will then expand on this raid, adding new challenge, twists, and rewards. Second expansion will deliver a new dungeon with expanded reward offering. So we'll presumably even more guns and armor from dungeons. The fourth and final major update of the year will launch an event that leverages legacy raid and dungeon content along the lines of the Pantheon. Clip it right now. Hey, maybe it'll age insanely poorly. I think that this is going to be an incredible year for Destiny content. I think this is going to be awesome. I'm an optimistic guy too. But maybe I'm coping. I don't know. But I'm pumped. I'm excited. So yeah, that's what we have on the way. That's what we have coming to us. I'm pumped. I'm juiced. I think it's going to be good. I think we're going to have a good time. If you have any questions, hop by the stream, twitch.tv/Mactix. We'll try to answer them. If you have any thoughts or predictions on what is to come, also come on and hop in here and let us know. Card opening is on Friday. See you there. Yeah. As always, fellas, I'm just what? At the end of the day, I'm just what? When it really comes down to it, I'm just what? Yeah, baby. I'm just yapping.